Hello, and welcome to another episode of Steve Unpacks in Portland. We have unpacked a lot of games so far, and we are going through more boxes. So, let's cut into our collection. What?
Which box?
The box that we are unpacking now is box O''game #7 War Games Patchwork 8-Minute Empire and Power Grid. All right. So, first game we have in here is 8 minutes pour un empire. Empire. 8 minutes for an empire. This is the French version of 8-Minute Empire that I was absolutely determined to get when we were in Europe, and every game store we went into I was like, I really want it. I can't even remember why I did, although it is way fun. The downside, of course, was that it didn't come with English rules, so we just like freaking printed them out. It was awesome. 8-Minute Empire is like, it's a super light, I don't say mini 4X game, but it's like a mini territory control game that actually plays in like 8 minutes, and is actually fun for how much time you invest. So I really liked it. I think I really want to play it head to head with Tiny Epic Kingdoms, because I think I actually like this better because it's a little cleaner. But we'll see. Maybe we'll do a head to head sometime. Next up, we have Patchwork, which is a game Tiffany and I really like. It is a 2-player game about quilting, so it has Tiffany on theme alone. It has a lot of things that I like about U. Rosenberg games, sort of distilled into something you can play in 2 players in 30 minutes. I'd probably put it around All Creatures Big and Small, Agricola. I think it's like a little quicker and a little less brain burny, but it's still a lot of fun. So this is great. Then next, we have Diamonds, because Diamonds is a box this size and totally fit into that spot. Diamonds is a trick-taking game that was put up by Stronghold last year. It was actually pretty popular. I haven't played a lot of trick-taking games, but it seemed like the main innovation on this one was people that played offsuit got to take an action, and those actions involved getting crystals, and either putting them in a hidden or non-hidden area. Hidden, obviously, people can see the score, so there's sort of an opportunity to manipulate the game besides card draw. I'm still kind of on the fence about Diamonds, but for some reason it feels a little fiddly, but it is good fun, so I'd like to play this more and sort of solidify my opinion on it. So Power Grid Deluxe, I was informed, has a slightly different map and a slightly different Power Grid power plant deck. So if you are used to the map and the power plant deck from the original and you want to change things up, go with Power Grid Deluxe. If there's someone in your group that really knows the deck and knows how to exploit it and everything, play with them without telling them it's a different deck, and just enjoy that. Just relish it. All right, then we have Parade. Now, Parade is Tiffany's. I think I played it once and I think I liked it, but that's the only thing I remember about it. So if you know anything about Parade, talk about it in the comments. All right, now we are on to the war game part of the box description. First up is Starfall. Starfall is a game I picked up on Noble Knight Games, which is a used game website where you can put stuff on your wish list, and then when they get it in stock, they will email you, and you have no choice but to buy it. Starfall is a pretty cool 4X game which is played on sort of a large paper fold-out map of grids where instead of like most 4X games, there's sort of a map. In Starfall, there are a frequent number of wormholes which connect to different sectors, and I think they have to be discovered. So as people explore hexes, they will find wormholes to other parts of the map. And sort of it has an interesting dimensionality that most of that kind of like 4X style game don't have. I think it's from '77. It is a little complex, and I haven't managed to bring it to the table because I need to hoodwink some people into playing it. But it looks awesome, and the ship art is about as awesome as you can get, which is to say 1977. All right, next up we have Ranger. Modern Patrolling Operations Swamp Terrain Solitaire Omega Games. Ranger is a game that was made by a guy who was a ranger instructor, and I think 83-ish, and he made it as a teaching aid to teach people in ranger school how to go on patrols. So it's a solitaire game that has that, it's basically a paragraph book game where there's a fatty paragraph book, and as you make decisions in the game, it goes to different paragraphs. The cool thing is the decisions are sort of set up to loop, so it's not like a narrative game, it's sort of a system. The other cool thing, it is a dry erase game. So instead of moving people on a map, you actually draw a line on the map of your route through the swamps. And you know, as you go to different types of terrain, you will go to a different paragraph in the book that says like you exited a clearing or whatever. I haven't really played another game like it, and it sort of shows a different side of solitaire games. And it is way fun. I think the only randomization in it is just a D6, just choosing different options and different results. Way fun. Next up, we have Nuclear Winter 68 by Peter Tutunia. Tactical warfare among post-nuclear wastelands. Nuclear Winter 68 is sort of the, I want to say like the sort of the tongue-in-cheek version of the World at War series, also by Lock and Load Games. Can you see a theme here? I like that publisher. It is the theme of the game is, I forget why, but I believe Germany in World War II was beset by some sort of calamity, sealing it off from the outside world. I think nuclear related. The Germans went underground, and the country was overrun by strange mutants. And then in 1968, the Germans emerged with like super technology, and then there's a whole bunch of mutants and like giants and creatures. And then the Americans and the Soviets team up to fight them. So it is basically the equivalent of like a super pulpy, like faux World War III novel, where you have like the Spetsnaz and the American Rangers taking down like two-story giants in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. So you're either gonna like this or you're not. There's like, can't really be lukewarm about it. And the game system seems pretty cool, and it takes some liberties that these sorts of games, which are a little boring, tend not to. So yeah. Next, oh dang it. Next up, we have Conflict of Heroes: Awakening the Bear, which is a game which had an insert, but it's not an insert where the counters stay in when you turn it on its side. So they're all actively falling out. So first order business before I play this is to get more GMT counter trays. Conflict of Heroes: Awakening the Bear is by Hugh Eckert. I continually get him confused with Hugh Rosenberg, because as long as I say Hugh Eisenberg, I can't do last names. It is a sort of Euro-inspired war game series. This one is in World War II, which has interesting elements and really big, easy-to-read counters. So, for example, players alternate activations and have a pool of points that they can spend on unit activations when they're taking turns. You can like interrupt the other players, I think. Many people have said it sort of has Euro influences. It's one of the reasons they like it versus a whole, a standard you go, then I go. You go with all your units, I go with all my units war game. A lot of fun. I enjoyed playing the sequel to this quite a bit. We actually put it up for a charity auction because I decided just to keep this one, which hadn't got a lot of play. So I am looking forward to playing this. This also has a solitaire module, which I believe is still in development, even though I got this version like 3 years ago, and I think if you pre-ordered it, you were due to get the solo module. So, any month now I should be getting the solo module for this, which has in separate scenarios which are set up with their own AI for the opponents. So it's more interesting, supposedly more interesting than just playing the other side by yourself. So I'm looking forward to doing it. There's a possibility I might explore doing a solo game series where I will play games solo in some way, shape, or form, and sort of talk about them and the influences and how they play. So if and when that solo module comes out, this might be one that's on the docket. Lastly, we have my copy of Imperium, Empires in Conflict, Worlds in the Balance. Imperium is by Games Domain Workshop, Game Designers Workshop. I forget what year it is. It was originally 1198 when it came out. It is no longer 1198. This was another one I picked up on Noble Knight. I was super stoked. It is a 2-player asymmetric galaxy-conquering wargame set in the Traveler universe, if you're familiar with that. The gist of the game is one player is the plucky human empire who has run up against an ancient human-descended empire who has analogs to the Roman Empire. So you are one player is sort of the remote provincial governor of this ancient empire, and the other player is the plucky humanity, and you are essentially fighting for dominance in this backwater part of the galaxy. The human player is sort of at an economic disadvantage, while the imperial player has to do things like please the emperor and beg for funding and beg for Senate resolutions and things like that. So it's very well balanced and very asymmetric. It also has a interesting campaign feature where periodically the game will end. The period of war will end, and then there will be a period of peace in which both sides' ships will degrade because there's no more funding to maintain them. And then after a period of many years when both of your fleets have atrophied, this is an interim period in the game that you're basically rolling for. The game will restart and you'll be thrust back into war in a sort of very different position than you were before. And the political landscape of what you conquered in the last war will have changed and stuff like that. So it's a very cool campaign 2-player asymmetric war game, and I'm not really aware of something along the same lines. So hence this is why I picked up Imperium. I have also yet to play this, but I'm looking forward to doing so. So that is it for that box. I think to sum up, I would say I really like quick 30-minute 2-player games like Patchwork, and I wish I had more time to play in-depth 2-player asymmetric games like Imperium. So I'm hoping that I will be able to find a balance in playing the two different kind of games. There's sort of a place to enjoy both, and so I'm just hoping I can find the time to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next box.